Hey everybody, welcome into the Beehive. I'm your host, TheBee LLC, and this is where we stack precious metals like it's pollen and nectar. Our pollen is silver and our nectar is gold, preserving our wealth as honey of old. And like ancient metals, we hold our own. So today we're going to have ourselves an auction, and you must be responsible to purchase in this auction. Email me longlivecoins@gmail.com with any wins you make throughout the night. Please include what you won and at what price, along with your YouTube name and address you would like it shipped to. And I will send an invoice to that email through Clover, which includes many forms of payment, credit card, debit card, etc. If none of the payment methods within that Clover invoice work, I do Zelle and Cash App as well. All payment methods are free except for when using PayPal. Please add 4% to your total if using PayPal. Shipping is $7 in the US. And that also opens you a wallet if you would like me to hold the wallet while you continue to shop over time, and we'll send it when you're ready or if it gets full. And the top bidder of the night gets a freebie. That freebie for the night will be 1 gram of 3/9 fine silver, Valcombi bar. You can't win 2 auctions in a row. We'll use dollar bid increments up to 100 and then $5 increments over 100. My guests are always welcome to bid, as well as the moderators. My guests get free shipping for helping with the live stream. We have no insurance bids here, and we will run a 3-minute timer and then count it down. 3, 2, 1, sold. Ancient coins sold here come with a lifetime money back guarantee to be genuine. And there's a 4-month payment plan available with 1 payment a month, and we will ship when the total is received. Please email me for and with any details on that. And you can bring up the commands by putting in exclamation point commands into the chat, and it should pull them up. And we're going to be having B. Taylor join us for our guest tonight. Let me bring him up.
Yeah, hello.
Welcome into the Beehive. How you doing?
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Yeah. How you doing today?
I'm great, man. Hey, look, I just gotta apologize for the last meetup we were supposed to do. You, your people, your live stream, that was just messed up. So I gotta let that out there.
All right. Oh no, yeah. Thanks. I appreciate that. I'm just glad to hear you're okay and doing well, and I'm glad you were able to make it in tonight. So
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
cool. Welcome in Liberty Bleed Silver, Big OTG, Mountain Stacking. Wow, good to see you, bud. It's been a while. Good to see you. And yeah. All right, guys. Well, John Camper, there he is. Good to see you too. We're gonna start this auction off with my easels. So I'm gonna put them all in at one time. If you want a particular one, just let me know which one you're after. And let me get my timer here. Okay. And yeah, these are exotic wood easels. They are not finished with any type of a finish. They are just the color of the wood as it is. And there's 2 different sizes here. I also make one that's like 12 inches long. So if you want that, just let me know and we can get you one of those. We can discuss what type of wood you would like and what color, and probably make that happen. So I'm going to just put all 3 of them in. And if you want one, just let me know and we'll get you fixed up. So this first one is the $7 example, and it is just a single coin easel. They also have my logo burned into the back there. And again, there's no finish on these, and it's about the size of 1 coin. on there, and very pretty wood. This is called tiger wood. This is deadly stuff to Liberty Bleed Silver. I believe he's in here tonight, so he can't order this one, but this is called Purple Heart, and it's a beautiful purple wood that's naturally purple like that. Again, there's no finish on these. And this is the little bit larger one, and I will put that into the chat right now. Mrs. Coin Crew, good to see you. Let me get that on the board. Glad to have you say hello. Thanks for stopping in. I was just watching your husband on a coin video you guys just did a live on the other night. Just watching you before I got on here. So, and I heard about the coin auction that you guys are going to be doing with the IDs. That was kind of a eyebrow raiser for me. But yeah, anyway, I enjoyed their talk. Okay, so yeah, so this next one I'm putting in is a little bit bigger. So it holds 2 coins.
2 coins.
2 coins, 1 easel. And the example that I can show for that is right here. So that's what's holding tonight's bullion special. So at any time throughout the night, if you would like to purchase the special, the bullion special, the buy it now special for the night, we have Golden State Mint, 3/9 fine silver, 1 ounce, $35 buffaloes. And
Damn.
let me know how many you would like at that price. I can get you up to 10 at that price. So let me know if you're interested and how many you would like. And again, that is an easel that holds 2 coins. And just like this one, the little bit bigger one, and I'm putting that in the chat right now. They go for $9. Big OTG says 2 coins, 1 easel is diabolical. All right. It'll be all right. All right. So, and then the last, but not, oh, and then I do have, yeah. So I'll throw that in there too. If you want a full size long, they're like 12 to 13 inches, something like that. Solid easel. We can make that happen as well. And then the pinger, not the least of all these, is the coin pinger itself. And again, you can choose what hardwood you would like your coin pinger out of. I'm sure most of you know what a coin pinger is. You just put your eagle into the coin pinger. You can even get an app that and then you can put in a Type 2 American Silver Eagle and just ping it, and the app will tell you whether it is legit or not. And it's actually really accurate, the pinger. It can tell the difference between an eagle and a Britannia, or an eagle and some other coin. Like, they're pretty impressive in that way. So
Heck yeah.
So that is those. I'll flip the timer on that and we'll get that going. Let me know if you're interested in any of that. And while that's happening, let's hear from Mr. B. Taylor. So I usually have a little list of basic questions I like to ask my guests if I can remember to get to them. So
Cool.
Feel free to answer what you like and not what you don't.
No problem.
So what state are you hailing from, if you don't mind?
Indiana.
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 Right.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Cool. Very cool. All right. And what got you into stacking?
Uh,
Do you stack, should I say, or in what got you into it?
well, honestly, it was just my older brother. We've been dabbling in other stuff, and he had mentioned that he was buying here and there some gold and silver or whatever, 90%. And I just didn't know how easy it was to just go online. 'Cause, I mean, I never really thought about looking at online sites. I was thinking mostly just like a LCS or something. But once I looked at it, I did a little research, and I was like, man, this would be a great opportunity just to get started. The prices were low. I haven't seen the prices I've been buying it since I've been buying it, so that's good. But yeah, it was just all my brother, and just the whole mindset of having being your own bank, and having your own physical assets. That was the main thing.
For
Holding your own
sure.
physical assets.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's indeed my mindset on it as well. Yeah, kind of once you learn, like, that, you probably learned a little bit about the monetary system, that your fiat dollar is not holding up as well as the metals. Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of good info, education. Like I enjoyed it a lot. I like learning new things. So this was simple to grasp.
Good. Yeah, good. It was for me as well. I'm surprised more people don't seem to grasp it as easily. For me, it was fairly easy. And then once you do grasp it, it's just like a light bulb goes on that you can't shut off,
Right.
I guess, or something. I
Right.
don't know. Chad Wolfen Gilsteinhausen Bergerdorf. Nice. Welcome in, Chad. OC Stacker, good to see you. He's here
Oh,
for
see, what's
Taylor
up?
Graham Gold.
I appreciate that, man.
All right.
But yeah, like when you're talking about people not jumping on the train, I think the same thing, man. I think it's just a huge mindset. I think once people are older and they're already set in their ways, it's kind of too late. They have their own financial stuff going on, and they would think their investments, their 401k, their bank account is enough. Like I think that's just like a mindset thing. Just some people are willing to relearn, but some people are just set in concrete.
Yeah, yep. Troy Ounce, welcome in. I didn't see you there. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. We're just chatting precious metals and got a little auction going tonight. So you're welcome to hang out. Truth Seeker, welcome in. Good to see you. Yeah, okay, so we counted down our easels. We're going to move on from those and the pingers. Let me know if anybody, just send me an email if you're interested in any of those things.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna have to hit you up on some of this stuff for real.
Yeah, sure, for sure. Yeah, I
I'm
know.
always interested in what y'all got, what y'all doing. You already got the creative stuff going on, so it's we gotta get some of them trinkets.
Sure. Yeah, we
All
can
right,
talk about all that. And then also remind me before I get off here, I got this coin slide, magnetic. It's a dual coin slide. And
dual. Okay,
I want to show you a little bit about that. And it's
heck yeah,
uh,
please do.
a cheaper method of kind of running your coins and making you feel a little bit more comfortable about what you have and getting to know a little bit. Like it helped me wrap my mind around the metals themselves. Once you see how they're reacting differently to a
Yeah.
metal, it kind of helps a little bit. So we can talk about that. But let's get into a little bit of metal here. So what did I want to put? Okay, so first, I'm going to start off tonight by doing these ancient widow's mites, and I'm going to put these up because I have basically three different. They're all widow's mites, but they're different qualities, I guess you would say. So I'm going to show you, um, an example of what I would say is a little bit different quality, and then if someone wants to pay a little bit more for the nicer one or a little bit less for the lesser one, then they can do so. So we're gonna start off here with the widow's mite. I'm gonna drop that into the chat here. Give me a second. Got too many things on my board that are in the way.
If you don't mind doing a little education on the way, man, what is a widow's mite?
Yes, sir, for sure. Give me 1 second. I dropped my. Here we go. Couldn't find my paper. I must have hit X by accident. Yeah. So a widow's mite it's a coin that was basically from the biblical times, and there's a story in the Bible about how the rich were putting in to the temple from
Mm-hmm.
all their wealth, but there was this poor widow, and
Mm-hmm.
she put in two mites, which is this tiny little copper mite, or
Wow.
or penny, basically, as we would know it.
Okay.
And they called it a mite. And this isn't necessarily for sure. There's also a pruta and a half pruta that they may have referred to, but it was basically one of those three in circulation in the time that story took place.
Okay.
Oh, and most everyone, this is kind of the most thought that this one is probably the one being referred to.
Okay. Cool.
And
Cool.
so,
That's nice, man.
yeah. So now this is the lesser of the two. Let me zoom in and see if I can show you a few things. So here's kind of on the lesser. Okay, yeah. So you can still see you have what looks to be an anchor.
Okay, a little bit.
That.
There you go. There you go. Right. Yeah. Okay.
And so that's an anchor. And then on this side, there is, kind of a center wheel spoke and kind of like a star shooting out from that center spoke. I'll show you a better example, but that's my cheapest one. And then this is a more expensive one here that I can probably show you a little bit better. So there's the anchor on the, oh, I'm in my face there. Sorry. Not used to showing my face here in the camera. So there you have an anchor.
All right. That's more clear. Yep. Right.
And then there's this wheel, and it's about half cut off the flan.
Okay.
But you can see there's the center spoke and
Oh,
then
wow.
kind of a star going around like a wheel.
That's cool.
And so that's a little bit nicer. So that's kind of this one, these two, this is another one that's of the cheapest I have. But again, you still have, that's the one I just showed. Here's the other one. You still have an anchor and a partial wheel.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Very clear.
That's it. That's my $35 choice. And then the next grade up in the middle here, these go for $40. And I'll give you a little. So there you got a bit better wheel and a bit better.
Nice. Okay.
And here's another one. A little bit different shape of an anchor, but still the same thing. And there's your wheel. So it's a little bit different in design, but same thing. And this one is kind of unique because the planchet itself is kind of unique looking. It's not necessarily round, and you get some very off planchets in these. They were just taken kind of copper strips and kind of had and this one was probably a long strip, and they would, hit that, stamp it, and then just snip, and that one would be done, or break it off and make
Okay. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So those are examples of the $40 variety. And then these are the nicer ones. So this has a bit of green there,
Nice.
on it, but you got a very vivid full wheel on this one.
Right.
So that's called cool. It's a centered, kind of more centered. And that's kind of a lot of what you're looking for on ancient coins is how well is the coin centered on both sides.
Okay.
And, how artistic is the design and how well was the coin struck? How well does the design show up? Or was it barely struck and you can barely see it? Or is it too wore down? Or, those are some of the basics. And again, these are the, this is sold for the story here. And in fact, one of the reasons that I am, I am going for these first is I'm kind of going to sell out of my copper variety here of widow's mites. I like these because of the story, and a lot of people know that story of
Right.
of the widow in the Bible, and that way it can kind of relate them to when these coins were actually out in circulation. And it, it's kind of cool to know that you can hold something so old
Yeah.
and see what they were dealing with and what a penny would have looked like back then, and I kind of like to think about what would the value of this, like this is a nice centered full, you got a full flan, good centering on that. And this one's a little, that's off the flan, but you got most of the picture there. So that's a nice big flan piece right there though. But yeah, I like to think of, how much is this particular coin's value compared to our value today? Is our greenback dollar the same as this one penny? What could you buy with this one penny? Would it be like having a dollar bill today?
Right. I'll say it'd be close.
I think so too.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I find it interesting. This is a nice one too. This is a nice thick planchet, and it's well centered. It's a little dirty, but it's 2,000 years for you.
Yeah.
2,500.
That design is just so, it's like how intricate and how small and precise it's got to be, like for way back then.
Yep.
That's
Now this
that's
one,
awesome, man.
yeah, this one has a little hole,
Right.
and I don't know if that was put there purposefully or not, but tis there. But it's got pretty good centering, and you can see the whole design. So those are the different examples, and that's what you'd pay. The nicer batch is for 45, and the lesser is for 35 and 40 in the middle. I'm not sure if I put in let me put at least one example in. If someone wants one, we'll go through and pick one out.
Man, that ancient stuff's pretty amazing, man. Just to see how, I would like to see how it was done. Really, you talking about
Yeah,
stamping and making the stamp and stuff.
for sure.
For something that small, like that is tiny.
Indeed. And so yeah, it's definitely different. And but yeah, I'm thinking about getting out of these widow's mites for, like again, like I say, for the story, but then getting more into what I mostly sell is these larger silver coins,
Okay.
and I'm kind of getting into, I'm going to be doing this pure metals movement
Uh oh.
where I kind of just am going to stick to more moving pure metals. So, 90, this is the ancient silver coins, especially in the Greek silver coins that I like to purchase that have cool art and are also pure silver. Like
Ooh,
these measure in at 98% plus.
that's awesome. That heck yeah.
So for that time to have,
Yeah.
that's pure for them, So that's where my starting point is going to be. And so 98% plus all the way up to 3/9 fine bullion, like we have, here, to 4/9 fine, and then up in, now I'm also into the crystalline osmium, and that's 5/9 5 plus. So
That's
very,
crazy, man.
very pure. But at this time and age, we can deal in pure metals like that, and for, I think, new people coming into the precious metals, if you have to start, remember 90%, or sterling is 92.5%, or you got your war nickels or 35%, or you got
Yep.
your mind starts like, whoa, and then you got to
Yeah.
talk premium. And so it's like, if you can just know that it's pure gold or pure silver or whatever metal, if it's pure copper, I'm even going to be
Right.
offering pure nickel.
Right.
So, but now, now all you need to do is look at any website where, any big website has the gold price at spot or the silver price at spot, and then all you have to do is take that, and the rest is your premium. And so it's, that's fairly basic and easy to understand. So So that's kind of why I'm doing this the way I'm doing it right now. Sorry for the long explanation, but that's what's up. So we're gonna run the clock here for those widow's mites. Let me know if anyone wants a widow's mite. Let me get a yep. And we'll get it to you, and let me know which one you want, and we'll pick you out whichever price you want. And so again, the low value ones that we looked at were 35. The next grade up is 40, and then the nicest ones are 45. So, and we'll pick one out of those if you want. The timer is running on that. So back to you, B. Nice to have another bee in the beehive.
You know it.
So let's see. Next question here. What metals do you have the most conviction on?
Well, I think it's always got to be gold because it's the most known, and
Yep. It's a
I guess you got
grandfather.
other ones like platinum and stuff like that. But I mean, everyone knows gold. It holds its value a lot better. It moves along with the economy a lot easier. So that one
Solid
would
and
definitely be
steady.
my first one.
Safety. Yep. That's what I always say, that gold for me is safety. And that's kind of how I try to explain it to people when they're asking me about it. Is for me, I look at gold as safety and real money.
Right, right,
So that's if you have a lot of wealth, you know there's no need to be good getting into putting all that into silver, because
true. Yeah,
you're looking at preserving your wealth, right?
right.
So
Yeah,
for me, that's kind of where I would more look at gold. Where someone like me, I don't have very much gold, and it's pretty pricey for me. So I kind of look at silver as a possible leverage on gold. Ooh, that's a nice piece right there. Was that 2.5 or something?
that's a 10th ounce.
10th ounce, big guy. Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
No,
I
that's
can't
cool.
afford a lot of it, but yeah, I mean, I'll every once in a while. But for my like you said, for my budget, silver is the one. But I'll take some gold if I can get my hands on it.
Yep. Yeah, I was actually kind of thinking that might be the case. True Seeker was that could very well be what was going on there, because it was about a thread size hole, and it didn't look very natural. So I kind of wonder that same thing.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, could be.
Uh, yeah. So I kind of have a conviction on silver, because I'm looking at it as a leverage on gold, because that if you look at the silver gold ratio, there's a lot of possible pickup room, though, or you never know. But in my mind, we're getting more uses in silver. Plus, we're having a worldwide liquidation event on what we know as the global reserve currency, in my opinion. And
Right,
so I think when the reality starts to set more in mainstream, that most of the metals will get gone through kind of with a fine tooth comb. Like, everybody's going to look at gold first, and it moves first. But
yep,
then it's like, once gold is already really high and everybody's in it, and then it's like, well, now people are going to start looking at what else is there. And I think
right.
a lot of these other metals are just going to go crazy. So, but that's just me. Okay, so moving on to the next coin. Okay, so that was the widow's mites. We're gonna move into some silver now. Get these put away. But while I'm doing that, let's see. Yeah, that's kind of a basic question. What do you watch most for price change?
You mean what site?
Well, or just which metal do you check? A metal for like me, I'm always checking silver.
Yeah, yeah. I'm always on silver too. I always look at gold, just to look. But I
Yep.
mean, at the price it is right now, like there's not much I can do with gold.
Yep.
So I'll
Yep.
get some 90%, some good silver pieces.
Yeah.
Actually scored this weekend, so
Oh, cool.
couple silver pieces. So even
Awesome.
at this price, man, it's like I'm gonna still dabble in it. I might not do like a huge order, but I'm still get my pieces here and there.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's I continually steadily buy. So,
Right.
because I just have the conviction of the dollar. I got in it about 7 years ago now, or 8 years ago, probably now.
Oh, you really scoring then?
And yeah, I've been watching it for a while and looking into the financial system. And I don't know. For me, the more I look, the scarier it gets. So
Yeah. Yeah. So, what did you think? Like, you're pre-COVID. So, what was your thoughts of pre-COVID versus after COVID now? When you look at, say, the silver price, I mean, do you ever think there would be a chance for it to go like under, you know, I would say like 28, 29, just something like extreme like that. Like,
yeah, I think it could go back under maybe 28. I don't think it'll ever get back under 25. In fact, back in, this is probably 4 or 5 years ago now, I was chatting with a guy online, kind of a big YouTuber, and he was saying that he thought silver was going to break under 18 just within a short while or whatever. And I said that you'll never see it under 18 again before
mm,
the dollar dies. And so far, I've been right. It's only went up from then. Now
yeah,
we're at
I think
30.
that'd be hard to see.
So, but yeah, I think that it is definitely a really volatile, metal. So if like we just seen not long ago, like when the stock market, when the whole market, like everything was going down there for a few days, silver
Right.
and gold went with it. And that's kind of commonplace that anytime the market really goes, because remember, you're watching a paper market there.
Exactly.
And I found this out, that anytime like you start getting whatever they call them, I can't remember what you call them, caught, like you have your money in a certain stock and it starts going down, they'll call you up and say you need to cover on your
Oh, your margins. Yeah. Yeah.
margin.
Longs or shorts. Yeah.
And so, and I found out that you can sell other stocks, but to liquidate them and close them out, it takes like X amount of days, 3 or 4 to a week, or like a long time span before you could
Yep.
actually get it liquidated.
Right.
Whereas gold and silver are like a half a day. It's the quickest thing you can sell, the most liquid thing
Oh, okay. I get it.
on the paper market. So that's why every time the market sells off and needs liquidity, gold and
Right.
silver are the first to drop hard because
Right.
everybody's grabbing that quick liquidity. So, but then, then it always recovers, and so it shakes people out kind of. So you always got to be
Yep.
ready for these extreme drops like you're talking. And so in that type of a circumstance, I think that it could get down possibly below 28. But I think we're, 20, I'd be way surprised to see us break 25, And
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
and then and don't freak out when that happens. Give it a few weeks and it'll be right back up again, so you just kind of got to be aware of that volatility in it. But the amazing thing about that is we're seeing $3 swings already, and I said we'd be seeing $5 swings before long. I think we will.
Yeah.
And you're going to get $5 swing down, but then 7 up in the month, so it's going to
Yeah. Yeah.
get kind of volatile in my opinion. And so yeah, that's what and I was watching, yeah, like you said, before the COVID thing. And then when COVID happened, it just kind of concreted or made me sure that what I was thinking or what I was looking
Yeah.
at, the possibility in these
Right.
markets and that I thought I was seeing, it became very much more vivid. So I just am more convicted now. Okay, up next, I'm going to put up a channel round, and this one is poured by 3D Woodworks and Coin Rings. And this is my channel round that he is pouring for me, and it's out of 3/9 fine silver, and it is the
Yeah. 3D.
Ionia of Ephesus B. And this is an ancient coin that, of course, they're just making a plaster mold out, or a mold out of, and they're pouring into it. But it's pretty close to the original coin. I could
Man, that's nice.
pull that out later. But yeah, it's toned. This particular example, this one is number I believe 6. Yes, this is number 6, and I am.
Oh, he got the edge lettering. Oh my God.
Yep. It says LLC number 6. So I have sold 7, 4, and 5. So this is my last piece. I got to re-up with him again and get him to make me a few more. But this is number 6, and I think I'm gonna maybe probably get these to about 10 and cut them off, and I'm gonna come out with a new line, I think.
Oh my God. That
So
is nice, man.
you got
That's sweet.
about you got about three more opportunities to get this great pour from 3D Woodworks, and
God,
I'm
man.
really
And that
happy.
one beside it looks nice too.
Yeah, and that's the way that ancient coin has a B on one side, pretty close to this, and it's from Ephesians. So it's an Ionia from Ephesus, which
Okay.
is the town again in the Bible, or the book of Ephesians, if you've heard of that.
Yep.
And so this is where this coin is from, Ephesus, and you can see the E and the F for Ephesus or Ephesians. It's for Ephesus, for the town. But and so what's interesting about that is in Ephesians in the Bible that's talking about this town, refers to Diana, and they actually talk about silversmithing in Ephesus, and the silversmiths were making all these silver pieces of gods and different knickknacks and whatnot, and it was all of that Diana, the great goddess Diana, and this is one of a representations of Diana, I guess, is the bee and the stag, and this is the stag on the back here, and a palm tree, and kind of like the fruits of nature and whatnot, and supposedly some bees helped found the city, and so there's all this connection with the goddess Diana, and the Greeks called it Artemis. But anyway, that's
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 cool, man.
that's the whole connection there. And since I have a bee as a logo, that's how all that ties together. So
Heck yeah.
and I actually have the ancient coin. I should probably show that since I'm talking about it.
How
So
much is that if you don't mind me asking?
the poured round.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep, the poured round. Let me get that in the comments for everybody. Is
No, my bad. I forgot.
75 doll hairs. Hey, Emerald
Okay.
Co-Stacker, welcome in. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Bring out the metals and cheese, you know it. Got the honey too. Love the thought that went into this pour. Yeah, indeed, it's very nice. $75 from Emerald Co-Stacker. Let's get that clock
Yeah, it
going.
is nice, man. That's some good craftsmanship, boy. Y'all boys in it in that metals industry that's doing the pouring and all that, man. Y'all killing it.
Yep,
Y'all
yep.
killing it. Y'all need to get y'all's due, man, for real.
Yeah,
Designing, whatever.
go check out 3D Woodworks' channel. If he also does coin rings there too, like it says on the bottom, and he's pretty crafty over there for sure. So
Man,
I appreciate him helping me out and getting me these cool pours for this is my first channel round, so
cool.
I'm very appreciative of it. So thank you very much, Emerald Coast Stacker on top there at 75. Rockamos, good to see you, Mr. Mike. Welcome in, welcome in. And yeah, we are on the way down. Let's move on to some more questions here. What do we got? Do you have kind of like, how do you look at the metals? Do you have a quick exit strategy or any type of exit strategy? You just getting into it enough now that you haven't thought much about that, or what's
Well,
your?
I'm hoping that I don't need to, but
There
if
you
it
go.
absolutely has, if I have to, absolutely have to, I got a few pieces that I could get rid of. I mean, I got the cooler. I got two coolers actually, and so that's where I put my extra stuff at. And if, like I said, anything goes crazy, then that would be probably what I would get rid of.
Yeah.
A few couple little tubes of buffaloes or something.
Yeah.
Right now, I don't have like enough to even really make a real dent.
Yeah.
I'm only up, a few bucks anyways. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Well, that's very much the way, I look at it as well. If I don't have to sell beans, I'm watching the global dollar as it is right now.
right,
There's
right.
where am I rushing out to? If I have
Yeah, where you
something
gonna put it at? Yeah,
right.
right.
So
Yeah,
until something changes there, I think it's a good idea to hold it until, like you say, unless something comes up that you really need it or whatever, then that's of course what it's for. But
yeah.
uh,
Strictly emergency, but I really don't think I'll need to. If I see an opportunity, maybe. But even still, I mean, like you said, what am I gonna turn around and do with it?
right, right,
Just toilet paper.
exactly. That's kind of the key. Silverboy Blues. I will check on that. I'm not sure if you did or not actually, but I think I'm gonna have a couple more made, so you'll have a couple more chances to get in on it. Yeah, that tombstone is nice, isn't it?
Yeah, somebody said they liked it, so I'll give you the close up. This is not. Yeah, I had to get like 3 of these, man.
Yeah, those are cool, aren't they?
Yeah. I be watching y'all's videos, man. I be slobbering, dude. Oh my god, I couldn't stand it when I first got into this. God,
Yeah. Well, it's funny that's so how you feel when you start out, but like so when I started, I remember buying my first coins and looking at my friend who had like a suitcase, and he was like we were at this table at a gun show selling silver and gold and so I had gotten into it and I had just bought like a couple 1 ounce rounds. And I remember him having a 10-ounce bar. And I remember thinking to myself, man, I don't know if I could ever get a hold of a bar.
right,
And
right,
and then just like years later, you realize, oh, well, I've got 10 ounces right here. And then before you know it, you're just like, you've got your 10-ounce bar, you've got 10-ounce rounds, you've
right
got
on, man, right on.
it's just once you get run, you're well on your way. You just watch, you keep at it, and you'll be blown away
Yes,
before.
sir.
And that's why I like the metal so much is I couldn't save anything. And once you realize that, oh, this is actually going positive as compared to my fiat dollar, as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to just steadily draining, and you got to get out whatever you can get to get.
Yeah,
And it's kind of changed my mind a little bit, and so yeah, it was a good form of savings for me for sure.
yeah. Especially after COVID, when I saw like some of the prices, during that time period, like 30 something. I think it may have touched 40. I was like, man, I need to hit this ground running. Seeing it
Yep,
at under 30, I was like, man, I got to kill it, and I
yep,
tried to.
yep. Good
I took
deal.
advantage.
Yeah, and see, it wasn't down there long either, was it?
No, it was not. No, you're right. You're right, man. I knew I
No.
was on to something sub 30.
Yep, yep. We are SOLD sold to Emerald Coast Stacker. I don't know what. Oh, I'm on the wrong
Nice
platform.
grab,
That's
Emerald.
not highlighting. Sorry. Sold Emerald. All right, very cool. Yeah, it's a nice piece, and it is very nice toning on it. This is number 639's fine silver, Ione of Ephesus, and we'll send his tag out a little on it. And of course, I'll send a sticker as well. And this is a very nice pour. Uh, really good job actually on this.
Heck yeah, 3D. That is awesome, man. All the ones I've seen, it don't matter who's poor I've seen, they all look great.
Yeah,
All y'all look like pros.
he's doing really. This is a pro pour. Like there's not a lot of issues with it at all. So
I like that edge lettering, man. I'm a fool for some edge lettering.
me too.
I don't
Me
see why there's not more coins that got that.
too. I agree. I agree.
Anything. God.
I agree. All right, very very cool. Thank you very much, Emerald. Good to see you in here. Thanks for picking that up. And we will get it over to you soon. All right, and up next, Joseph Lopez. Good to see you.
J-Lo.
Okay, what do we put up next? What do I want to? Oh yeah, let's put up something kind of interesting. If you guys haven't seen this one, this is the new coin from Italy. So this is the first ever coin from Italy. So 39's fine silver bullion coin from Italy. This is their
How
first.
old is that then?
It's just this year. It's 2025.
Oh, wow. What?
Yep, this is their first year that they've ever minted. Now, a lot of my ancient coins come right out of Italy and right out of that area that are so, but ancient coins, but they have not
Yeah.
done a modern minted 1 ounce bullion coin.
Wow.
So this is their first, according to what they're saying. So 2025, and it is a coin. It's like 25 euro or something. I can't quite read what that says there at the moment. And then it's also got beautiful lady on the back here, Lady Flora, I guess.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a pretty coin. It's a bit pricey, but it is their first one. It sold out right away from the mint.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure that's going to be a collector's piece.
Yeah. So, and I am reducing it a bit tonight, and this will probably be the one time you'll see it reduced here. So,
Wow.
let's see here. Where are we? There we go.
I'm doing a little show.
Oh yeah, that's the. I'd like to get me some of those gold commanders. Those are nice. Those are good. That's good priced gold. Those
Yeah,
commanders.
10th ounce.
I've been drooling over those. I was gonna get me some of those as well. I got distracted on something else, but that's a good pickup.
Yeah, I had that. I did my swings last year, man. Near the end of the year, I was like, man, I know we're going to see like over 30, of course, but I had to again, had to take advantage of it. And again, I'm glad I did because God, look at
Yep.
the price of it now.
Very, very nice. Yeah, and see that's sadly the thing, guys. It's not that I'm happy. I'm there's a channel out there that used to be called Reluctant Preppers, and that's kind of I'm a reluctant stacker, but I'm happily stacking now that I know about it, but it's sad to think that, this has to be the case and that it's no one else understands it and then, that
Right.
everyone's slowly getting robbed. I don't like all of that side of it, but that's part of why I have my channel out here, I guess, is try to
Yeah, man. Put out that info. Put out that info.
talk about it and yeah, exactly. Have
Yep.
people like you on and get the word out and get to know, get and make a community, right? Of
Yeah.
kind of community of awareness and yeah.
Yes, sir.
Best moderator in the game, J Lo. Indeed, yeah. Thanks for helping me out all the time, J Lo. And yeah, Emerald Coast Stacker, he's got a nice channel. I've been over there a few times. I'd like to make it over there more. I'm very busy, but he does a very cool. I like how he's got very nice thumbnails for his auction. He's got like meats and cheeses and like delicate cut up. Nice.
I gotta go check that out.
Yeah.
I gotta see that.
Yeah, he's got a nice channel. Let's see. They should sell Victoria's Secret instead of those gun shows. Sell a lot. Yep. No doubt. Okay, so the clock is going on that. So I know you're kind of new into it. I was going to ask you, one of the questions is, where do you get your medals? So what have you found about it? Let's talk about that. Like, what are some of the things that, as you're first getting into it, what are some of your go-tos? What are I tried this, didn't like it, or I was scared to do that, or, have you had any of that?
Well, yeah, like so the reason I even started doing these unboxings is because when I started buying, the first place I bought from was online, and I didn't really think about looking up a LCS or anything like that, but so when I bought my first piece, it was like one of the commanders, It was a few other stuff. So I'm thinking, I'm like, well, how do I verify what I'm getting? And what if there's a mix up or something? So I just started recording them. And that was the one thing that I worried about when I buy online, is like just making sure the order is right. I just want to make sure it's right. And so that's why I started recording them. And after that, I mean, you buy from a well known online spot, most of the time it's going to be okay. I'm sure someone's had an issue, but I haven't had one yet. I've
Yeah,
had one actually at my LCS before. So
yeah,
regardless, I
no,
mean, you still gotta trust but verify. And of all places, your LCS is the first place that you get your bump on the head.
that sucks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a learning experience. I'm glad that happened when I was, when I'm new to it. So I don't have to go through a whole stockpile of silver to verify anything. But
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
I guess
no,
that was
I,
that.
no, yeah, I agree with that. That's I kind of always agree that and tell people just go as a new if you're new into it, go to these Walmarts of bullions like your Atmexes, your JMs, your even though they're kind of pricey and but it's a good place where you can see all the different inventory that they have out there. You
Yeah,
check.
it's a great tool of information. Yeah, there's a lot more out there. You can kind of compare and contrast. Some people have different minimums for free shipping. You learn about that stuff. Some of their spot prices are different.
Yep, yep, yeah. Welcome in, stack that gold. Yeah, exactly. And then you put in your order with those big bullion companies like this, like you say, you're gonna get your product. I have gotten a wrong order, but they sent it was still the right metal, so I didn't even do anything about it.
That's cool.
But yeah, you're gonna get your product, and then you're learning about that you have legit silver. You can hold it, you can
Right.
look at it, you can understand it, you can get a feel for it, and then you can look for where can I find a better deal that I'm sure is going to be legit. And after a while,
Exactly.
you can kind of get a feel for what is legit and that's sketchy and blah blah blah.
Yep. Yep.
So
I agree. I totally agree.
okay,
I
man.
just wanted to make sure I was nice and safe. My first few little bits, and like I said, the research with you guys in the community is like awesome. It's amazing. I can sit here and watch videos all week and not get tired of it. I'm
Yeah,
always learning something. I love learning, and it's a good safety net, man. You got someone else you can contact about a question about something.
sure.
So, actually, World Money is the one who identified my bar. So, if it wasn't
Oh,
for him, I'd still be skipping around with it in my pocket.
okay, cool. So
So,
that bar that I watched a video where you were worried about a bar, and it turns out that it was bad.
yeah, man, yeah. Look, all right. So I got this little magnet just now in the mail, right?
Okay, cool. So you do have a magnet, right on.
And now here goes the bar. That's
Oh,
messed up, man. Imagine if I'd have taken this to the LCS though.
right.
This magnet, you know what I'm
Did
saying?
you
So, I
Did
got a
you
whole
get
nother.
that? So you got that at the your LCS.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And so have you showed him that they
Oh
sold
yeah, I
you
definitely took it back. Oh yeah, heck yeah, I took it back.
how did that go?
Well, they was shocked and all this stuff, and you get to talk to the guy with the gun, and he explains some stuff to you. But they swapped me out. It was cool. Like they didn't, I guess they were also going to be surprised, but they know that there's fakes out there, so
Yeah.
it wasn't like a huge ordeal. I was just kind of surprised though. I mean, some people probably would have been like, "Hey, you didn't get that from here."
Well,
We
that
got
would
the
have been
Sigma over there.
yeah, that would have been a yeah, you wouldn't
Yeah,
want to
that'd
deal
been a
with
tragedy,
somebody like
man.
that. But
That'd have been a tragedy.
that would have been yeah. That's bad. That's bad luck out the gate for you like that, and that's again one of those reasons why I say go with those big whales to begin with, even though you're paying what, an extra dollar, maybe two,
Not
but
even that. Sometimes, man, you
right,
you catch a
sometimes,
good deal.
right. So it's like you get that surety before you even worry about saving a few cents. In my opinion, it's much better
Yes, yeah.
to do it that way. Hey, welcome in Daviolo, wow,
No.
Daviolio. That's hard for me to say. Welcome in. Okay, up next.
It just kind of makes me think is like, what do you guys do when you buy like a tube of stuff? Do you just open the tube and just dump it in your your basket. You know what I mean? Like you don't even slide it across your Sigma. Like the Sigma just sitting there collecting dust, you know, for looks or something. But
Yeah, it's. I'm just kind of surprised that that happened at your local LCS. Like, is it kind of a new LCS? I wonder, or something. I don't
not that I know of. Not that I know of. They've been around. It's I would say like 2000. So you know, a little new like on just that. But I don't know, man. It was. I don't think that should have happened at all. Myself,
No,
I
that's
don't
kind
think
of.
something like that
I'm
should happen.
sad to. I'm sad to hear you went through that. It's not a good first taste of things.
It's all right. I'm equipped. I'm prepared now. You know,
Well,
I'm a few steps smarter.
maybe that was the best then, because now
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. I'm glad. Yeah, you know, it happens.
Yeah.
I'm just glad it happened when I was new.
Yep. No, that's cool. Well, I'm glad you're handling it like that. And I'm sorry that that did happen.
No big
There's
deal.
shysters out there. There's a bunch of stuff out of China. They're trying to get in here. Just
Yeah, man. I'm surprised at how vast of a, you know what I mean? Like how big of a market that is. Like what, you know, I don't get the point.
yeah. Well, it's purely to rip people off, and that's the very sad thing about it. Yep. I mean, they can say that, oh, it's just a replica. So, like, why do you need a replica? I don't know, but it's just an obvious ripoff,
Yeah.
and they just sell it out for a low. They can sell it for a low price, and then but it's the person that usually buys them that has the bad intentions of re-putting them out.
Right, right.
You
We
know.
don't triple their money.
Yeah. Sorry, Ellis, lost connection for a minute. If that floor is still available, I'll take it off your hands. Sure thing, Truth Seeker. Yeah, you can have it. I will get it to you. Let me write you down here in 1 second. Let me get this up here first. So this is a snake privy. If you can see here on the side, it's got the little snake privy on the edge. So there's
Oh
no
my God. Okay.
reed on this particular Britannia, and instead of the reeds, they have a snake privy. This is a coin. This is 2 pounds, and with the old queen on there, Lizzie, and then we have Lady Liberty, and it's got a mirror back finish instead of the wave. So this is an older one. I think this is like
Okay.
2000, 2013 Britannia, and it is the Snake Privy at $37, and we'll put that up and hit the flip, and then I'll get Truth Seeker lined out. He's gonna go on top of the board now. Actually, let's see. And Emerald should have been there. Actually, it'll be Emerald that is gonna be up there because he's still got the top bid. Let me get those put in. Emerald bought the long-lived coin. There we are. And put in a new one.
So you talk about the Libertania. One thing that's kind of new for me is like this is my first year starting off like in January, of course, with like so I get to see all these newer coins that's coming out, new mintages. Like the Perth Mint came out with the newer, well, the 25 versions of the Libertanias, and of course they look a little different. So I get to learn, I guess, about the newer things that come out that I didn't get to get, you know, last year or the year before because the premiums done gone up.
Yep.
So I'm really trying to expand, you know, like different types of coins, I guess, you know, from Perth Mint, Royal Mint, Royal Canadian Mint, stuff like that. So I'm really trying to, you know, kind of hold on just to see what new stuff comes out. Like that Italian coin, I knew nothing about it. But I
Yeah.
mean, just seeing it, you know, that gives me just something else to kind of look out for, you know, something else maybe I can learn about.
Yep.
I love seeing that new stuff, man. New
Yeah, because
design or
that
something, it don't
might
matter.
be right. See, that might be something for you to like that. If you get in on this first one, and it's already doing fairly like it's sold out, right? So it might not be a bad one to get in on, and then you can follow that series because it's kind of comes down. You got to get that first in the series because it'll be the one that bites you the most. Like
Yep.
so. if you don't get it right out the gate, it'll be more expensive down the road. And we have True Seeker with the with the flora fauna. Yeah, this is a cool one. I like it. Well, see, for me, they knew what they were doing. Their very first one, they went for the stacking precious metals like it's pollen and nectar, as you can see here in their fine flower stamp. They know what's up. So.
Yeah.
No, it's
Heck yeah, man.
pretty coin.
Heck yeah.
And that goes to True Seeker. Thank you very much, True Seeker. That will go for 87. I think I dropped that to tonight. So you got a good deal on it. Yep, $87. Thank you very much, sir. And our time has wound down on the Britannia, unless I didn't flip it, but I think I did.
That's what I liked about that Commander series. When I first started, that Cortez was the first one I got. That was number 3. Then I look at Patton and Napoleon. I was like, God, that Napoleon was like, I think a $30 premium.
Yeah.
But again, like you said, if you get it early and the prices were down, and
Yep.
now look at where it's at. So
Cool.
the was it Caesar and the new one, not Patton.
Yeah, no, Caesar and what? Yeah, I think Caesar was a
Grant, my bad, Grant.
Grant. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
that's the newest one, and that has the lowest premium out of all of them. So
Yep.
when you're if you want to dabble with the series, that wouldn't be a bad one to start off with. I mean, like I said, Napoleon's going to be up there, but by the time you work your way to it, hopefully the prices are down or something like that. And
Yep.
I had to wait on that one.
Yep. What yeah, and that's kind of a nice way to do it on those series. Like I try to buy an extra one or two, and
Yep,
then
yep.
later on down the road when they're really expensive at the shop, you can offer a new one still,
Yes, sir.
on the market
Yeah,
somewhere in between there, make someone happy, but
smart.
you
That's it. That's
wow.
strategy. Yeah, yeah. Because I don't see commanders at my LCS. So when I brought the Cortez in there, they offered me more than what SD was even selling them for, and they're still for sale on SD. I was like, well, why don't y'all just buy one from SD then? That didn't
Yeah.
make any sense. So I still ain't seen one up there. So I don't know. Maybe they can't buy from SD. Maybe they got their own little dealer contract. But man, I was like, shh. I almost sold it, but I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah. Welcome in, Stuart and True Seeker. Yeah, I'll hold on to it for you and see you soon. Very cool. Thank you, sir. In one, and we are gonna go no bid on this one. What's up, Liberty Bleeds? How you doing? Okay. On to the next one. LLC and Space Miner must be the founders. Founders of what? Speaking of founders on something, we're not founders, but we do have a Osmium symposium coming up in a couple weeks, and I'm going to share a. Oh yeah, here we go. I'm going to share a file to show that right quick. And this will be the first ever Denver Symposium, Osmium Symposium. So this is in relation to this metal, my B, as the B I'm representing this B here of crystalline osmium. And we're going to be hosting the first ever Osmium Symposium here in Denver, Colorado, June
Awesome.
7th through the 14th. If anyone would like to come, get a hold of me, reach out to me at longlivecoins@gmail.com, and we will hook you up. It's going to even be available, open to the public at least one day, if not two. We're going to do what we can there. And if you want some VIP treatment, just reach out to me in an email. But that should be very fun. You're going to get to meet other people who are into precious metals and this new final 8th and last precious metal to be brought to the market, and learn all about it. We're going to be meeting some jewelers and have some amazing jewelry pieces to show. So definitely come check it out. And yeah, Space Miner will be there. Ian will be there. We've got Nick will be there. True Seeker, I believe, is going to be there. So there will be a good team. Texas is going to come down, or come up, I guess I should say.
That was crazy. I saw that live stream y'all did. You went space mining with the crystallized osmium. I had no clue what I was looking at. I had to watch another video when you actually showed that little piece of crystalline on that round. That was, man.
Yeah, so that's this is Space Miner's new round right here. Let me zoom into that. It's got this little, oh, there we are. Grab my pointer. So it's got this little 3 mil piece set
Crazy.
into the camera right there.
Crazy.
And yeah, it's like 1,500 times more rare than gold, and it's the most dense element known to man. And you can't this particular precious metal, if you drop this coin into like an aqua regia or an acid that will melt the metal, you can recover the metal out, just take it out of the acid and redo it, but the acid won't touch, it won't bother. That round would look just the same at once the coin had dissolved. You'd be left with that piece of osmium in the bottom and be just fine. So it takes the highest heating to melt it. So it's an amazing product, and the all the little crystalline structure, all those little defined. No, you can't really see them right there very well, but like pyramidal structures on there, they're like a fingerprint, and in fact more fine points than your fingerprint, and that code gets, when they make it at the Osmium Institute Germany, that's where they photograph it, they log it and give it a code, and then when you buy it, you get a special code tied to you saying that you're the owner of that particular piece of osmium, and it can't be replicated because it's the most dense material. It's also like the most hard, and abrasion, it's more abrasion resistant than diamond. So
that's crazy.
And it's like right at the same hardness about. So yeah, it can't be replicated, and that code ties it to you. So if someone tries to steal it, it just gets them caught because they can't resell it. That code just comes back to you as the owner, and so unless you authorize it, it can be traced back. So yeah, it's a really interesting piece. And like we were talking, there's this thing that you can be driving along and you get your stuff seized by the cops, like if you have a bunch of cash and you just happen to be going to buy a piece of property, like was one example. One guy got a whole bunch of cash, so he's going to buy a piece of property, and they seized it, and he can't get it back. But and it's also happened with silver, like monster boxes of silver have been seized.
Wow.
But with something like this, the cops can't seize it because it's tied to you, and then they can't resell it because you have to resell it.
That's crazy. That's good security feature, man.
It is a good security feature, and you can and the code is tied in with customs, so you can fly with it all around.
Wow.
It can clear with customs, so it's a way to take a tangible asset, and you get one of those big discs that they make. It's like 50 grand. You can hold 100 grand in 2 discs like nothing, and it's a tangible asset that you can take to another country, and boom, like no problem to worry about. So it's very, very intriguing metal. So, and come learn more about it in this next couple of weeks. We'd love to have you, and stay tuned, because I'm going to be doing live streams with people. I believe I'm even going to be DJing there, so I might I'm going to try to do a live set DJing there as well. So we'll see if that'll Right on.
like a DJ set.
Right. Well, there'll be some good information, and I'm going to be doing some live streams with some of the people there. So check it out. And onward we go. Here, where are we at with time? I'm going slow. 6:41. Okay, so let's put out which what we want. Speaking of series, this is a series that I got into. It started in 2017. The first Australian Swan was put out in 2017.
Okay,
And again,
that's
this
nice.
is it's a 4/9 fine. As you
Nice.
see up there, so that's nice. It is a coin, 1 ounce, 4/9 fine. I really like the background of this one, kind of a frosty, and then you have kind of that reverse proof swan going for you.
Heck yeah.
And light shutting off on me. But yeah, this was number 9 of the series. So I do have this whole series, but this is one of those series where it was nice, a good one to get into, because once you have the full series and you didn't pay the really high premiums. But if you were to go to fill this whole series now, you'd definitely be paying
Oh yeah.
premiums. So it's kind of cool to get in if you can get in early and then
Yeah.
and then you're kind of, it gives you something to wait for and plan on, and then when it comes
True.
out, you don't have to question, should I get, you're ready for it, you can go get
Yep.
it, and it's kind of fun that way.
Yep. Yep. They got the new Trident series coming out. I got my eyeballs on that. It's supposed to
Oh
be pretty
yeah,
cool. Yeah.
where's that come from, Scott? Where's that coming from?
I think at Scottsdale. Yeah, at
Scott.
Scottsdale. Yep.
Cool. Dub C coins and precious metals. There is. If
Yeah,
anybody
see?
wants to learn about silver and all the things that are entailed within, Dub C coins and precious metals is a great channel to get your.
Awesome. Very awesome.
Go check him out for sure. All right,
Man's a
so
library.
we are going to put out this Australian Silver Swan, number 9 in the series of 4/9 fine silver swans.
Looks like
So
you get pretty good action on those auctions, man. I when I watching your DJ sessions, I was like, well, where these people buying at? But I
yeah,
guess they just gotta email you and stuff. So yeah, that's cool, man.
yeah, you just put in, and like right now we're doing the live bids, so it starts at 47 there, so you just put 47. If someone bids 48, then you can bid again at 49 if you want, or let them buy it at 40, how just your normal bidding session. But then I also have, like I was saying, anytime throughout the auction, if you want, you can just say, put in the chat BIN for buy it now dash special, and I'll know that you're wanting these buffaloes at $35, and you can tell me how many you want, up to 10 per person, and yeah, I will get you that, so you can do a buy it now at any time during the auction. That goes the same for my ancient coin. There
Oh
is,
yeah, okay.
it's BIN dash ancient. So if you're wanting the ancient, you can just type in BIN dash ancient anytime throughout the auction, and it will be yours. However, if you can wait to the end of the auction, I'm going to offer this ancient coin at a bit of a reduced price. So if you can,
That's what's up, man.
you're not worried, then wait till the end, and I'll put it out at a reduced price. So,
Good
but
action.
those are your options, and then we're just running our main event here. Is the bidding item, and it is this Australian Swan. And did I get it in the chat yet? I don't believe I did. Let me get it in there. But yeah, definitely appreciate you coming on and helping me out and giving me somebody to talk to and learn about you, and
Yeah, anytime, man. Anytime.
let other people learn about you and
Yeah, yeah. This is
go
a
back.
great community, man. I don't feel nervous or nothing. I
Cool.
like talking with y'all. It's cool. I'm
Awesome.
learning a lot every day.
Beautiful. That's what we're wanting. All right, so that is up at $47 for the Australian Swan. 4.9's fine. It's the ninth in the series. And we are being graced with TheBee's presence. Well, that's cool.
That's the wealth. That's the library right there. The professor.
Exactly.
I would say him and FG. FG, he does like the world coins. I'm trying to keep up with that.
Oh
Um,
yeah, everybody keeps talking about FG. He must be doing some good stuff too.
yeah, I mean, he's killing it. Everybody's got their own little things they do, man. I
Cool,
mean,
cool.
it's interesting.
It is. Yeah, no, it's cool. Like to see everybody's different
Right,
teams and
right. They
different
got their
ways,
skills, man.
skills, and but everybody's supporting each other in their own little ways is cool too. So
I like it. Yeah, I like it.
bit early and often, everyone remember to like and subscribe to both Long Live Coins and B Taylor. Thank you very much,
I
TheBee.
appreciate that, Dub C.
And TheBee Coins and Precious Metals, without a doubt. It's great information.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. You'll learn something.
Without a doubt. I thought I knew a lot, and I knew nothing compared to this guy. So, yeah, it's very cool to listen to him.
Heck yeah.
All right, we are winding down. So, all right, let's see. What else do we got here? What do you think about the gold-silver ratio? You have any opinions on that?
Me, I think it normally just going to stay within that 90 to 100 range. So unless you're going to make a move, if you're going to, trade one for the other, like gold to silver, then that's when it's going to really matter. But if you're just buying, then the ratio really doesn't matter unless you, like I said, the only time it matters is when you're going to make a move. To me,
Right, right. Yep, yep. Yeah, I think the ratio is looked at by some people kind of wrong. I do think it will close quite a bit. My own personal opinion.
I think so too.
I know some people, quite a few people who disagree with me, but I think it's gonna close quite a bit because I think that, funnily enough, all the gold that we mine is above ground and in a vault somewhere and is accounted for. But with the silver, we are now using silver and it's ending up in the landfill at quite a large rate. And that's kind of not happened before. Plus, I think the monetary aspect will come back into play a little bit with the devaluing of the fiat.
Hmm.
So as that because right now industry is eating up most of the silver. In fact, we've been in a
Yeah,
5-year deficit. In fact, we're not mining as much as we're eating by a couple 100 million ounces
right.
a year.
Keep going.
So I think that since that industry is eating up most of the market right now, and I only see the industry growing in that aspect.
Right. Yep.
So, and then when that monetary comes back in, and some of it's going into the landfill, I can see where silver becomes more of a commodity value necessary. Plus, that's going to cause the value to go up, which will make investors come into it even more. Even though that's kind of a reverse psychology, that's how it works. And
Right.
and so yeah, I think that silver can really is really going to surprise some people that have no that don't think it's going to go anywhere.
Well, that's what kind of surprises me. I now I kind of understand why people are so upset why silver isn't up in a way. Like it's getting used way more than gold, and like you said, we're at a deficit. So why isn't that really reflected in the pricing? And like we got the paper contracts and stuff, yeah, but I still think with that stuff being said, it's being used up like crazy, and yet gold doesn't. But gold is the quickest to move when the economy says something, and silver just kind of lags behind and keeps its space behind gold, and I get why people are upset about it. Like I
Yeah.
don't think there's a huge logical reason to tell me why silver should be at $33, $34 right now with all
Yeah.
the stuff you just said.
Yeah. And I think it's kind of because they, because gold is already kind of the canary in the gold mine saying, hey, there's a problem here with our,
Exactly.
and if they let silver go too, then the cat's completely out of the bag. So I think that's why they're kind of trying to keep it down,
Okay.
because with this deficit over that many years, they would be letting it rise a little bit so that you can go open more new mines to get more product coming online, right?
Yeah.
Because another big factor that I don't know if anybody is paying attention to is that this is a byproduct of like copper and
Yep.
other big mines. And so if you want to just turn up the volume on silver or get more volume in silver suddenly, you
Easy.
can. It's not easy. And it takes a long time to start up a new mine. And so
Right.
it's not going to be easy just to suddenly bring on a bunch more silver when that demand really comes into play. So I think it could actually be kind of explosive when this happens. So, but it's just me. I'm kind of out there on
Well, that could be part of the whole game. Like you said, a 5-year deficit, man. Something's, a balloon's got to pop after a while.
yeah. Something's going to give
So,
here and with industry gobbling up as it is, it's and like I say, gold is going to make everybody look at the metal, and then they're going to look at, well, what's still undervalued, and then that's going to
yes, they're gonna jump out. Yep.
it's
Yep.
just too much potential right there to
I
not
agree, man. I
get
agree.
real excited about if you're me. But I could be, maybe I'm wrong, whatever.
Well, and a lot of things that those little those brokerage firms and stuff, they have more information. They know what's coming up. So I think
Yeah,
if you could follow one of them and see what kind of moves they're making, you
yeah.
could probably read off of that and start to look ahead and kind
Well,
of make
see,
plans on what's going to happen.
and see if you see all the central banks are buying up gold, right? And a lot of people
Yep.
say, well, no one buys silver, but it's actually not the case, because Russia came out and purposefully said there's a reason that I don't think people are paying attention just because they kind of don't like Russia. But
Right.
there's a big reason why Russia says that they're starting to stockpile silver metal as a strategic metal.
Yes. Yep.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Why not?
yeah, I mean, and that's because we are in a deficit. I mean, they're just looking at logically, right? In
Right.
China, India are buying up silver like never before. So to me, they're looking at the game that I'm looking at, you
Yeah.
know, and it's just us here in America. They're like, oh, all these new Bitcoin tokenish stuff.
Yeah. We're distracted. Yeah. We're heavily distracted.
So that's my word. Yeah, Tiger. Actually, up next, let's do our 10-ounce bars up next here.
10-ounce bars. You got one?
Got a few here. We'll do a one per person because I only got a few here, but we're gonna go one a person at a door blow off price here. All right, here we
That's
go.
crazy. This man's a one-stop shop, man.
That's right. Okay, so first come, first serve. This is one bar per person at 360, which again is just ridiculous. You're not going to find anything, but well, I don't know, maybe silver is down now. So always look around to find your best price, but this is not a bad one right here if you like silver bars. So, okay, we have for our first choice Provident Metals.
Ooh. Okay.
And of course, if you notice, they have a kind of almost well, not quite a hexagon there, but it's close. And Provident Metals in a kitty corner across the back. Nice little Provident.
I've never seen nothing like that.
Up next, we have a little bit more well-known bar, but very sleek and nice in its own design, is the Asahi.
Mm-hmm.
Very well known. 3/9 fine silver, 10 ounce. And yeah, nice sleek look, I like to say on that one. And then we've got,
Man.
last but not least, everybody knows Silvertown.
Yes, sir. Silvertown.
Silvertown, this is a portrait, 3/9 fine silver, 10 troy ounces, and the serial number is 338172. And so those
Wow.
are your three choices at $360. Let me flip my
Man.
timer, and we are live. One per person and three per tiger.
What? Man. That's awesome, homie. That is awesome, dude. Man.
We're doing the
Woo.
battles, but when Antichrist shows up, it's not going to work out the way we want. I agree, Big OT. I agree. It's not going to make everything just perfectly smooth. There's still going to be some big issues that lie ahead. But I think, from my looking, it's the best tool. It's going to be the best tool for what we're going into, kind of bar none, no matter what. From what I'm looking at, always definitely get your canned foods and your waters and your few days rations. Get that stuff on hand. Because you don't want to be spending your metals right away just to get food. You want to have food, and and maybe even sell some of your food to someone else and make more metals. But yeah, then you want metals because it's that long-term safety. That's what makes the metals money in themselves so long over time. Oh, that's a cool little
My
wow.
first one. That's my first 10 ounce.
Dude, I like that. I like
I'm
that.
proud of that.
Size, that's got to feel good in the hand.
Man, this square bar, man, just something different, man. You don't see those a lot.
That is. I really like that.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Kind of jelly on that one.
No,
All right.
you can get it.
So yeah, but I do think that it's going to be kind of the best tool that you can have, and it lasts forever. It can't rot and go bad, and there's going to be a market for it out there, and it will be valuable, and it might be not as easy as it is to transact today, but there'll be means.
So, like, I guess you get into like the prep and stuff. Like, not a lot of people do. I guess in this community, like, does a lot of. I don't know. Like, what would you do as far as prepping? You just gonna show off some packs, I guess you pick up from wherever, or you freeze drying, or what they call it, vacuum sealing.
Those are all great methods. We do have a vacuum sealer. I guess we have a few things that we've done that too, but not a lot of vacuum sealing. We do have a big freezer chest. I have solar with a backup battery.
Awesome idea.
Hopefully our freezer will stay alive
Right.
for a while. That's kind of the idea there. And so we have a freezer for meat, and then some good I have quite a fair amount of canned food, and then like I put into storage flours and seal those up really good. 5-gallon buckets I use for certain products. Yeah, and kind of have those base elements that last a long time but are very
Okay.
nutritious is what I have, for the basis. And then but that's kind of the thing, is you can only stack so much food before after a while it's going to start to go bad, or you can't eat that much of one thing, whatever it is.
Right.
You want to have a good pantry full, but you kind of only go so far there. Whereas at that point, I think it's better to start going into metals that, after
Right.
you eat through and use all that stuff, hopefully by then you'll be able to barter in a barter enough system, and that you can just use your metals. But
So the reason I asked that is because I mean it's always been like a topic, and I just kind of randomly looked around at prepping supplies and stuff like that, and they always have like something that's dried out. I guess you just gotta add water or whatever. But it was all kind of commercial, so I was just kind of wondering,
yeah,
do people do their own type of
yeah. I mean,
preserving?
Sure, they're definitely, and like you say, freeze drying is. I know some people really rant and rave about all the things you can freeze dry that still taste good, that last so long, and I think that's probably a pretty good idea. I just haven't done it. I mean, personally, I kind of have seen canned goods stay good for a long time. I grew up as a country
Right.
kid, and we had canned food. We didn't go to town very much, and so. Not that it's the best eating food or that you want to live off of it, but that stuff lasts a long time. So I have a fair amount of canned food. And then like, your bases, your flours, your butters, your, stuff like that for making breads and whatnot. Uh,
Right.
but and the other thing is, another big thing is I have, as kind of an excuse, I have a saltwater fish tank. And so what else that makes me do is have a whole water filtration system, and then I also have 100-gallon tank. It's like 105 or something gallons, and it's the thing's big and it goes to the ceiling. But I have that filled with water and a gravity fed water filter. So I think that's kind of key is water. Like
That's a whole nother level. Yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
want, and you can just get, like, for drinking from a stream, you can make those little straws or a puddle or
Yeah.
whatever where that'll make it drinkable, and that's a good thing. We have some of those, but like, you also want a fair amount of water if you can. So,
True. Yeah.
so that because that's a big thing. So yeah.
Cool.
And
Cool.
then
I like talking about that.
something to protect it all if you can, if that's a possibility.
About 5 big dogs.
There you go. That's a good fact. And if you need a dog,
And pew pews.
Tiger Stacker's wife she raises dogs kind of for that reason. They train them and
Oh
everything.
snap! Heck yeah!
Kind of they're kind of in that business of doing that very thing. So yeah, that's cool. So Tiger, yeah, we are gonna be sold, and I know Tiger is getting some. It looks like he wants
Dang.
all, unless somebody else wants one. Does anybody else want one? Tiger gets first pick. Does anybody else want one, or it sounds like they're all going to him?
Go on ahead and be stingy, man.
Just holler if you want one. Does anybody
Snatch them.
else?
Them some nice pieces, man. All three of them.
Yeah, well, for that price, they're friggin'
God.
beautiful. They're beautiful pieces for that price. Oh, I gotta get you up on the board.
I
So
got my first. I got my first little piece of Asahi. Little 1 ounce bar, but just recently. And man, God, that thing is nice. I ain't seen that Provident before, but of
yeah,
course I know Silvertown.
yep.
Nice pieces, man.
Yep, nice pieces and good. I know Tiger likes to have some available stuff if he needs to get some liquidity. Your basic 10-ounce bar that everyone knows, that everyone trusts, that everyone likes. That's a good way to do it right there. So okay, and that puts Tiger up on top of the board. I believe we had Emerald up there before. Sorry, Emerald, I should have had you up there. I'm bad with my board. Learning as I go. Learning as I go, but thank you very much. Oh, let me throw up let's see, let's do this. Thank you very much, Tiger.
Get them, boy. Heck yeah. Rawr.
S at 360 right here. Good job. All right, by 3. All right, moving along now. Okay, so that brings us, it's probably time to switch over here and talk a bit about, let's see, what else did I want? Let me make sure I don't. Okay, thank you very much, Tiger. Very nice. Nice pickup.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah.
3 beautiful bars.
See, during your little live streams when you're doing like the disc jockeying and DJing, I'm grooving too much to like pay attention to the chat like totally. I'm serious, man.
That's good. That's
I'm
good.
serious. It's a good time, you know,
No,
like being
yeah.
in a club and at the LCS. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't leave.
Yeah, no, I want to try to make it, somewhat fun for somewhat hard times that might be coming, and then you can enjoy yourself while you can pick up some metal.
And it's way more than somewhat fun, man. At least from my perspective, I'll tell you that, man. If you enjoying it, if you having fun, keep doing it.
Awesome. I
I
appreciate that.
ain't never seen that nowhere else.
Cool. Yeah, it's a new idea, right? So, all right, here, let's see. Should we just move over to Osmium? Let's do that. Okay, so I'm going to play a little. Let me bring you back up here. A little video of me being introduced to Osmium myself back in the day, learning about it, and then we'll put a piece of Osmium up and talk a bit about it here.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay, so this is when I first went down and visited Ian. He's in Wyoming, Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and I went up. He's just Bill Joseph Lopez. And I went up and met Ian, and I went up for this really cool. Hold on here, 1 second. Let me learn how to run things. So I went up there because I seen him cutting up these slices, these bar slices here, and this is a slice of a silver 1,000-ounce Comex bar.
Dang. Oh man.
So what they were doing was they were pulling silver off of the Comex. You always hear about this on the financial channels, right? Because the paper
Yeah.
Comex are tied to the Comex. And if you are big enough whale, you can get delivery on these contracts. Well, they were big enough whales. They kind of went in together, and they were pulling 1,000-ounce Comex bars off of the Comex. And you can see like you can see some of the number imprintings on the top here from when it was a 1,000-ounce bar. But what they documented what Comex bar it was, what slice it was of the 1,000-ounce bar, what year they did it. And so these are tracked back to a Comex bar. And I just thought, man, I'm listening to stuff about the Comex and Comex bar this, Comex bar that 1,000. I'll never be able to afford one. But I was able to get a hold of a slice of a 1,000-ounce bar, which I thought was about as cool as I could do. So
Heck yeah.
and that's how I met Mr. Ian Everard of ARK S.G.O. Silver and Cigars. Welcome in. Good to see you. Hope you are well. I'm gonna have to get you back up here, Silver and Cigars. It's been a while since we've talked. Maybe I can get you up here for one of these coming up. I'd love to chat with you again. But so anyway, we're over here on my YouTube in my video shorts, and we have Ian Everard here showing us some osmium. So I'm gonna pick this one short for this one here.
It's one piece of metal.
Wow. Look at that. That's not scaring you. Wow.
No,
Okay.
it's one piece of metal.
Wow. You're saying that's one piece of metal.
Yeah. So
That's not
a
bunch of.
No.
But it's durable. It doesn't
flake off.
It's solid. It's just pure metal, but in a beautiful form. So the process is often described as a similar process to making diamonds, except this is a lot harder to make than diamonds. And one of the big difference is diamonds are made from carbon, and we're never going to run out of carbon. It's the fifth most common element on Earth. So if somebody wants to set up as a diamond manufacturer, you're not going to have a problem sourcing the carbon. If you want to set up as a manufacturer of this, there's a very, very fine art of the raw osmium metal.
Wow. Amazing. Look at that. And that's not scaring you? Wow.
No,
Okay. So, yeah, when I first seen it there, I thought, oh, don't get that close to me. It's going to flake off me, you know, and thousands of dollars down the drain. I was scared of it, but he just started raking on it like that, you know. I'm like, whoa. So, and like he's saying there, it's actually one solid piece of metal. And it's what they do is they heat it up to a ridiculous over 9,000 degrees Fahrenheit, and it becomes a vapor, and then they coax it back down onto a flat sheet, and it builds up in these crystalline structures. And let me share my.
That's crazy. Do you mind saying, like, do you remember about how much it costs? Maybe an ounce? I saw your video. I don't want to say the wrong number, but
No, it's sold by the gram, but I can tell you what it would be by the ounce as well.
No,
so,
you can do the gram. Do the gram. Do the gram. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, no, so I bought in when it was about $15 a gram.
Insane, man.
Now it's up over $2,000 a gram.
Crazy.
So,
So when I was watching you and Space Miner with that, it may sound comical, but I was like, man, I just hope somebody don't kick this man's door in while he's telling the story. Cause like he was hunkered down, it was dark, and I'm like, man, this sounds like something the government don't want you knowing about. And I was just like I said, I thought the whole piece was osmium, but then you pointed out that one little speck.
yeah.
I'm like, man, I just want to watch the live stream and everything in cool. After seeing that, that's crazy. 2,000 a gram.
Yeah, so that's 60 right now. It's $62,000. I just did the math there for.
That's big boy stuff.
And so one of those big, like the disc that he was holding in his hand was about $30,000. Now it'd be over $50,000 for that disc.
Crazy.
So like, and people so it's a new metal. This whole process is new. It's about 12 years old total, and it's been in Europe being traded in family offices and other places. People are buying land with it because you can just buy land or whoever possession you want, and so people are buying houses with it. Like, you know, you can a couple discs, you know, a handful of discs, buy a house.
Crazy.
And it's traceable, and you don't have to worry about the theft with it as much, you know.
Right.
There's a whole bunch of elements that are quite exciting about it, indeed. And then it's new to America. Like, this is the second year being in America. Me talking with Ian there in that video was very early on in it coming to America. So we're right at the opening gate on this new metal. So
man.
It's an interesting and unique thing that you know, like kind of like we were talking about getting in on those series. You know, this is a whole new metal, and you know, it's getting in early is you know, could be exciting. So I consider it my side corner horse in the, you know, I always say first you want to get your base metals stack going. You want a good stack of silver, you want a good little bit of gold, you want some, you know, maybe a bit of platinum. Once you have your bases covered on that stuff, then you might can play around a little. And not that you can't, you know, if you really like it, you think, but I always kind of say, you know, it's good to have your base metals because those are
right,
more liquid. You know, your pawn shop knows what a silver coin is. You got, you know, bullion stores around where you can take your coins and sell them. So, you know, you want that easy liquidity, that well-known thing, so that you have a quick form of liquidity if needed. But if you have some of that, then this might be another option that might get exciting. So
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and show this piece that I got under the microscope. Find it right here. Where you at? There we go. There.
Crazy. I can see the diamond look in it.
Yeah, so
That is insane.
and so a diamond, and we often compare these with diamonds, or women will be there and they'll be comparing their jewelry to this, and this reflects the light, whereas a diamond will refract the light. So the light
Okay.
will actually penetrate a diamond and refract out. In fact, they show how, like Pink Floyd's album cover shows the light going into the diamond and then it refracts out all the other colors.
Mm-hmm.
But this being a metal and the most dense element known to man, light does not penetrate it. So it is one of the most reflective metals. In its natural form like this, it is the most reflective precious metal. But if you polish silver, you can get it like mirror polish too. But naturally occurring, this would be the shiniest.
That's crazy.
Of the metals, and it's the most dense, and all those little different facets, and you can see the different little pyramids and city. All of that is, the deeper you go and photograph that, just the more secure it becomes. More secure without like 10,000 per centimeter or something like that. More connection points than a human fingerprint, which is already secure. Something ridiculous like that. That's just unbelievably, secure, and you can't replicate that, let alone it's the most dense. You couldn't add anything to it to change the weight because it would show.
Right.
There's a whole bunch of unique, like this is just, it's the 8th and last most precious metal. It's the most dense. It's the most noble of the metals, like how, how gold doesn't corrode and silver. This is the most noble of the metals. It won't corrode. It'll be the last thing standing on Earth. Like it's the last to melt. It is the most inert thing that we know of basically now. Now that it's in this crystalline form, it becomes the most inert of any material. In its raw powder form in the earth, it's actually toxic. So like you can get just kind of what they call a sintered bar, but it could be putting off toxins.
Wow.
And there's several things about that make it much more of a this is a whole new unique product. Even though in the regular metal it's the most rare of the metals, but this is taking the rarest metal and taking it to a whole new level of rarity. So, and security and a whole bunch of stuff. So,
yeah.
But we're going to go ahead and run this piece. I'm kind of out of selection. I got a big selection coming in here soon. That the German team is coming over to Denver here in a few weeks. And so hopefully by then I'll have a nice selection, but we're kind of low at the moment. I have a new line coming out called Osmium Nectar, and it's crystalline osmium, and it's in a hexagon form in the honeycomb shape, because that's what we do here at Long Live Coins is we stack precious metals like it's pollen and nectar. And where do we put that? We put that in a honeycomb, and it preserves its wealth and its value. They pulled honeycomb out of the Egyptians' tombs that was still edible. So that's kind of why I make these correlations, because why do the bees collect that pollen and nectar and put it in the hexagon in their honeycomb? Is because they're preserving their family's wealth, their family's security, their family's longevity. And that's what they do, is they fill up their honeycomb, and then through the winter they go, and if they start needing food and energy, they can go open one of those honeycombs up, peel back the wax and eat some of that, and then re-wax it over, and it keeps like that.
Right.
I find that just awesome. So
That's fascinating. Yeah. Heck yeah.
yeah.
Nature.
Yeah, and it just so happens that that hexagon shape that they make the honeycomb out of is
Hmm.
the most efficient way to stack weight. Is
Hexagon.
in the hexagon form. So that's why I got this new line of the hexagram osmium. We call it osmium nectar. It's the most efficient way to stack weight. We're taking the best, most efficient, most dense metal, precious metal, most noble, and we're putting it into the best way you can stack weight. And I get this line offered at bullion pricing. That was kind of the whole reason I did it, is because I can get you this metal at without the extra cost cuts that go into most cuts. Like most of these shapes and sizes have a cut cost associated with them.
Right.
With this new line of the osmium nectar, it's like getting at a bullion price, a base pricing with no cut cost. So I can get you in at the best way to stack weight at the lowest value. So I'm happy about it, excited about it. But anyway, okay, so on with this piece. We're gonna drop it in the chat and run it for 3 minutes. This is a triangle. It is, let me find it. Okay, here we go. It is Spartan grade 4, 0.039 grams, $170. I'm going to put it in chat. I'll pull it up online to let you look at it on their site. Show you how that works, and then we'll move on to our last piece, which is the ancient coin, and we will wrap it up for the night. So, but let me pull it up here online. Okay. Remove this from the stage. Remove this from the stage. And add this to the stage. Okay, so here we are at the Osmium Institute identification code page. So what you do is that same code that I just put in the chat, I will put in. Oh, that's not it. How did that happen? Did I not put the right thing in chat?
Yeah, I just saw what you just put in there. I was just selling item.
That was this 10-ounce bar. Sorry, that's not supposed to be there. Let me remove that. I don't know if your phone glitched. I put in the wrong thing. Hey, Space Miner, welcome in. I didn't expect to see you in here tonight.
Space Miner.
I'm glad to see you popping in. Hope you're doing okay. Hope the day went well for you. Okay, so here we are at with this piece of crystalline osmium. So this code there, the T3, we're gonna put in this code. There we go. So you put that code in, the T3 PA67, and this is what you call the OID, Osmium Identification Code, OIC. And this comes on the box, and this just tells you what the piece is. It's like taking a picture of the piece. It shows you the piece that, this is not the OCC, which if you were to buy it, you would get an OCC code, which is called an osmium change code. But this is the OIC, and it's just identification code. So this shows you put that OIC in there, and it pulls up the piece that we are looking at under the microscope, and it gives you all of the information you would need and be interested in. So it's the type of product here is an osmium triangle, 3 millimeters. The weight is 0.039 grams, so it's not even a full gram. And its sparkle grade is 4. And goes from a sparkle grade 1, which is a finer, smoother sparkle, smoother piece, and then it goes from that sparkle grade 1 to a 2 to a 3 to a 4, and the more time you let it grow, the bigger and heavier and thicker the piece gets, so the larger the sparkle grade. So the longer it runs, it gets up to a 2, 3, 4, and the highest it goes is to a sparkle grade 5. This is a sparkle grade 4, so it's a pretty rough, strong sparkle. It has big crystalline structures. And the price is 150 euros, so I'm going to do euro dollar. And we'll see what that is. And we're going to change that to 150.17. So 168.81. So we're going to start this at 170. So yeah, we're going to pop that in at once. Oh, I already have that on it. So we're already good to go. And yeah, so we're going to flip our timer and run that. If anyone is interested, you can get this Sparkle Grade 4 3mm triangle. And it's coming in at $170. Hambone, I didn't notice you. Welcome in. Good to see you. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate you. Hexagons are the best guns, indeed. All right. Yeah, and then we will, after this little bit, we will pop our ancient coin up and we will wrap it up for the night. Looks like we're almost to 2 hours, so I'm a bit behind. I'm going to be running a couple minutes long, but I appreciate you hanging in there with me, B. Really
Hey, no problem, man.
Really enjoyed your company, having another bee in the beehive.
Yeah, and I got an unboxing. If yeah, that's what I do. So
Let's have it.
nice little gift. All right, that's cool. That's cool. We'll go ahead and do it.
Or do you not? If you want to wait, but I'd like to see it.
Well, I mean, when do you want to see it?
Right now, let's do it.
Okay, all right. This is just a little something I got from Average Joe. I travel around on the online sites, just grabbing random stuff. But y'all know Joe. He's blue collar stacker, and
Cool.
just something I like to do. Just unboxing some stuff. Something I got from him.
For sure.
It's not a lot, but something I kind of want to show to the people. All right, no cutting new stickers. I got him last time.
Nice.
But first piece, a little bit of copper, Libertad.
Oh, nice, Copper Libertad. Thanks for stopping in, Liberty Bleeds. Oh, that's cool. I like those little colored copper pieces. That triangle
Yeah,
as well.
I like the designs. A little coloring, cool to look at. I don't have to pull out my silver. And this is a little Geiger piece. Again, just copper. Or something.
Oh,
I haven't seen this design before, so I just picked it up just because.
Nice.
And then I got some more. Of course, we got the sticker. Didn't cut the sticker. And then let's see what else we got. Another Geiger piece. I'm pretty sure you up on Whatnot and all that. This little auction house.
I've ordered a couple times. It goes a little fast for me over there. But.
Yeah, it's very fast. It's you gotta know you would know what you're looking at. You deal with ancient coins and stuff like that, so
Yeah.
You would definitely be able to fit in there in that crowd. But just a little something. Just little pieces.
Aztec piece there. That's cool.
I love Aztec, man. I love that design. I got me a few silver pieces. And I was like, man, I can't keep buying silver Aztecs. So I just kind of switched to some copper. just for some, just some extra. And I
Yeah.
think that's it. That's it for that.
Cool.
But yeah, I mean, that's just something I like to do. Little unboxings. Anybody in the community, y'all got something. If y'all are on Whatnot or whatever, tag me, follow me, whatever. It's B Taylor. I'll definitely get something off of you. I like this community that much, man. It's just, I get a little bit of something out of it, but I like just showing off pieces that people are putting out there and what they're doing.
For sure.
It's just kind of my thing. I'm
Awesome.
gonna get something from you, like you're gonna get an unboxing, homie. So don't worry about that.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
But yeah, that's just a little something for the people.
Cool. No, yeah, it's greatly appreciated. That's what we want, what we need.
Yeah.
All right, we are going to move on to the last piece of the night, which is the ancient coin. And tonight's ancient coin is the Attic Aegina. And so this is an early Greek coin from 510 to 500 BC. So we're talking, getting near 2,600 years by now, and getting close anyway. And the original or the earliest coinage really goes back, their dating goes back to about 650 BC. So this is within about 150 years of the first coinage coming out. And what's cool about this particular coin is it's the second of the series, kind of in the sea turtle that the Attic Aegean put out. And their first example had a row of dots right down the back of the turtle, right down the very center of the back of the turtle. And that was kind of their first line of turtles. And then their next design was a line of dots right down the center, like this one would have. This one's kind of wore out, plus it has a banker's counter mark right in the center.
Cool.
But this one has a row of dots up its back, and then there's a dot right to the left and a dot right to the right on this coin. And that's kind of the second edition, or the second design. So the first design just had a row right down the middle, and this one, as you can see, there's kind of one in the middle there, but there's also one to the left and one to the right of that. And that's the kind of the second design they have at this point. On the reverse, all they're doing is the incuse punch. They don't have a design yet on the back at this point in their coinage. They were kind of just using they call this a 5 mark incuse with triangles and rectangles, I think. But it's overall square. A square incuse with triangles and rectangles, and the turtle on this side. So I'm also going to play a quick short that I have on this in case I forget something. Let me bring that up. Okay, and this is my ancient coin. So this is it right here. Hey everybody, welcome into the Beehive. Today I would like to show you this Attic Aegina stater. This coin goes all the way back to the origins of coinage itself. This particular example was minted in 510 to 500 BC. It is a sea turtle, and a little bit later on they moved to a land dwelling turtle, but this is one of the early examples of the sea turtle. And on the back side, we have this incuse punch. It's kind of has a couple triangles, and the rest are rectangles within a square pattern, kind of incuse square punch. And this particular example has a row of dots down the center of its back, and then at the front here, there's one on the right and one to the left. It's an example 100 years in. Hey everybody, welcome into the Beehive. Today I would like to show you this Attic Aegina. So that is the Aegina stator, and it's about 12 grams of pure silver sea turtle. So you're reaching quite a ways back in time with this coin, and we are going to put it out right now at a bit of a reduced price. If I can get this stuff out of my way. Okay, here we go. And which Gold Maple, welcome into the Beehive. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. And country was that? That was right out of Greece, right out of their main Greek settlement. Let me show. I actually can show you that. Let me adjust my camera here, and I will show you where it came from. So obviously this is the boot of Italy right here to get you kind of give you an idea of where we're at. But it would have been, let's see, don't know. I'll have to look exactly where it is, but it's somewhere in this area here, somewhere in this Greek. I should know exactly where that's at too. I don't know, Aegeon might be close. There it is, right there, Aegina. So right there. Oh, no, you're not seeing that. Hold on, I'm sorry. Let me move that over just a bit for you. So right there, Aegina. So right in the heart of Greek territory. And since they're right there on the sea right there, and so they had a lot of commerce on the sea, and so they're, they attribute that to the sea turtle is why they have that as their coin. And another interesting thing is after they, oh my goodness, I didn't have my, you weren't going to be able to see that, were you, hardly, because I had that page up there. So anyway, yeah, after a few hundred years, they got conquered a few times and they lost some of their seafaring strength, and they changed from a sea turtle to a land-dwelling turtle. And the examples of the land-dwelling turtles have spots and squares all over the shell, instead of kind of the sea turtle has the more flipper feet design and just that one row of dots for the sea turtle. But the land-dwelling tortoise had a whole bunch of squares, kind of, and cool design, but a lot more on the shell. So it's kind of interesting to track them like that. Must be from the time of Darius the Great. Yes, right in that area, my friend. Right in that area. You nailed it. You got it. In fact, yeah, you can get, well, I'm sure you know that, Gold Maple, but you can get Darius the Great Persian coins, derricks. You can get, and gold as well. Gold Maple, that's what you'd probably be getting, is a gold derrick. There are so many Greek city-states, most famous were Athens, Sparta, Corinth. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yep. The Athens tetradrachm with the owl and Athena on each side is probably the most famous coin and probably one of the most minted coins ever. So, yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah, okay, and that is our 3 minutes of time on that as well. So that wraps us. Let me count that down in 3, in 2, and in 1. And that wraps us up for the night. Thank you all so much for coming in and hanging out and checking out what we had to offer and picking up what you picked up. I greatly appreciate it. And B. Taylor, had a great time having you on. Thanks for keeping me company and
Hey, greatly appreciate it.
telling us a little bit about yourself. And it's always great to hear from the community. And hopefully I can get you back on one of these days and we can do it again.
Definitely. And look, I cannot wait until one of y'all pull up with some adamantium or some kryptonite for show and tell. I know when y'all gonna have it.
Well, this guy right here comes up with some of that very stuff. He's always surprising me.
That's
So
what I'm saying, man. It's gonna pop up somewhere, and you're gonna have it. And you probably got it right now.
right,
Look, yeah,
so,
what you were, yeah,
right. This is
reaching.
gallium right here. And so this is another. This will work for the pure metals movement because it's gallium and it's 4 nines fine.
Uh-huh.
Gallium. And this is interesting because if you put this in your hand, it melts in your hand. I haven't done it yet, but I want to. I'm gonna get a little bit, and it becomes a fluid in your warm hand, and it's
Is that something like almost like mercury? I don't know much about mercury, but
well,
I've broken open a thermometer when I was a kid.
yeah. I mean, it kind of becomes liquid, somewhat like mercury. It's not toxic like mercury is in your hand, supposedly.
Okay.
But I did watch Space Miner take some of this and put it with like a tin can, like a pop can tabs or something, and he put this and some pop can tabs in like a jar and like kind of closed the top of the jar off and then lit a flame, and it was working like a lighter from the gas. So I was like,
Wow.
there's Space Miner for you.
Yeah. Be careful, man. Just be careful, homie. We gotta see you next time.
No doubt, right? You need to get some Sumerian repelled sharks. Oh yeah, okay. Gallium melt, yeah. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna wind it down. I appreciate everybody, and yeah, we will catch you all on that. So yeah, I got a lot more stuff coming up. So stay tuned, and we will catch you on the next one. Thanks, everybody.
Okay.